$43,440 we made in December. Just fucking insane, to be honest. We set the goal out in February 2024. It's about nearly a year ago today to go ahead and build a business and build something that we would be proud of and something that would allow us and for it to be a vehicle to allow us to achieve location, time, and financial freedom. And we've done it all. Life is fucking good. Just spent a month in Cape Town, another week in Bali at the end. I went to Bali for a week or two in December. I get to do whatever the fuck I want right now, to be honest. And that was my goal. I posted this video a year ago today. And I remember sitting in my room here, writing down exactly the goals that I wanted to achieve and the person that I envisioned becoming. I wanted to be a person that had financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom. I wanted to be able to provide for those around me. I wanted to be a business owner. I wanted to have a masculine frame, both mentally, physically, and also to be present with it. Now, of course, I'm far from perfection, but I feel like I have achieved that and I'm well on the way to achieving the desired outcome that I set out to a year ago today. I hit all my goals for 2024. I don't have a 9 to 5 job. We hit $40,000, over $40,000 in December. Do have enough cash if we theoretically wanted to rent our own place. I feel I've started to cultivate an audience of like-minded people. Again, far from where I want it to be, but on the right trajectory. I feel I've 100% learnt the foundations of business. I feel my diet has improved significantly. Do I have a Nick Bare-like physique? Far from it, but I feel I'm on the right track. I ran a marathon 3 hours, 30 minutes and less in May. And I had a crack at an ultra marathon in December where I did 71k. I feel I am in full control of my actions. I have disciplined habits. I can control my emotions better and my reaction towards others better. I feel I am a lot more present and I really am enjoying the journey. And I feel for joy in things more. I flirt with the idea of joy. But in saying all that, there's times and periods where I still feel lost. I still get anxious. I still feel like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And that, yes, I may have achieved all these goals, but I'm far from figuring it out. 2024 was a really fucking good year. It was amazing because at the start of the year, I had a clear vision and took action, relentless fucking action, and I made it happen. There was course times I kind of felt low, tired, etc., but I also felt fucking unstoppable. Like I could do whatever the fuck I wanted. And I had this roadmap, I had this plan and vision that I would do fucking anything to execute on. And I quite honestly felt like at points that I know it's so cliche to say, but life was literally a video game. I just had a controller, I could do whatever the fuck I wanted. So I hit all my goals. And honestly, I am so grateful for all those around me, for the things I have in my life, for myself. I'm grateful for myself for taking the action. But I can't help but feel when I'm reflecting on the past year that I remember being that version of myself, that version of Sam that sat on this exact desk at the start of January 2024, and I had this buzz. I had this fucking buzz that if I achieved these goals, I'd be on top of the world. I'd be so happy. I thought that that would bring me joy and fulfillment. Yes, it does, don't get me wrong. But I thought that would be the pinnacle. I thought that would be the be all and end all. Yet here I am today, having made $43,000 in December, traveling for the last 2 to 3 months. I've hit all my goals, but I feel worse than I did before. I still feel stressed. I feel more stressed. I feel more anxious. And at times, I feel more lost. Like I said, I've just been traveling for 2 to 3 months around Cape Town, South Africa, Bali, even just around Australia. And my family is proud of me. My friends are proud of me. Everyone's saying you're doing so well. And it's funny because I do feel like this is something that a lot of people go through and experience, but I I don't know how to put it. It's just all this, yet at times, and again, it's not how I always feel, but at times it's the worst I've ever felt. So, like I was saying, I've been reflecting, journaling, and trying to figure out why I'm actually just at the end of the day just being such a pussy and a bitch about it, and not being more grateful and not feeling that buzz. And I had a really good conversation with a few people in Cape Town that are doing 200k, 500k a month, couple mil, like some real serious business people that honestly I look up to and inspire to do one day. And there's a few things. There's a few things. First is that comparison is the thief of joy. When you're constantly looking and constantly elevating yourself as a person, you're always going to be comparing yourself to others. And it's so important to kind of take a step back sometimes and realize that there's always going to be a bigger car, a bigger house. There's always going to be the next better thing. But sometimes you just got to say, my mum actually told me this, it's like this or better. Okay? This is great. Better is also good. But this is great. This or better. The second thing is, as you level up as a person, you're always going to be chasing for the next thing. So you sometimes got to take a step back and really realize it's okay to acknowledge the achievements that you've done so far. And I feel like that's a big problem that I have. I'm constantly searching for the next thing, the next goal. And I think if I actually look back on my entire life, I don't think there's ever been a time that I've hit a goal and I've been like, you know what, Sam, you've done a really good job. It's always like, well, no, I could be doing more, which is a blessing and a curse. But I was thinking about it as well. So there's that. But why at the end of the day, I'm comparing myself to others, I'm constantly going for new goals, various other things. Why do I feel like at times I still don't have it figured out? And I think the main thing I'm kind of trying to figure out here within myself is that why do I not feel as hungry? Why do I feel not as determined? And I honestly feel it's because I became comfortable. I became fucking comfortable. I was watching a few videos that I made a while back, 7 months ago from today, So it's currently 4th of March. And the person that I was, that version of myself that I was, the old version of me, was less successful but more driven. I woke up 30 days in a row at 3:30 in the morning every single day to work on the business, to work on myself. There are times now that I sleep into 9, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. I don't have that structured routine because I became comfortable. There are times that obviously I have my non-negotiables, going to the gym, going for a run, but there are still times that I become comfortable. And I think you need to be uncomfortable to really challenge yourself and to grow. And I realized as well that I watched another video and I had the goal of hitting 10K a month. And I said this to myself, and I said this on YouTube publicly, that there are two versions of yourself. The version of your current identity that's holding you accountable to your daily actions, daily thoughts, daily beliefs, daily identity. And then there's a future version of you that you must become in order to achieve those goals. So what I realized, and I've always known this, but it's almost like I became comfortable in forgetting about this, is that the two versions of yourself are constantly at battle with each other. So to stop repeating the bad cycles of the past, you need to understand that you have been asleep. And that's what I mean by forgotten. Like, I have been asleep for years. And even when I do remember it, even when I do make like a video on YouTube about it, I still forget it. And it's like, I gotta remind myself that I'm new to this. Like, you are fighting an opponent that is bigger and stronger and more emotionally charged than you, which is your current self. So to get to your future self, to get to those next goals, you've got to overcome that. So I realized that in kind of circling back to the whole point of this video, it's like you need to, I need to give grace and kind of free yourself from guilt, disappointment, and frustrations, because these are the emotions that are kind of glued to the version of your old self. And if you've gotten 13 minutes into this video, probably even haven't said the reason I'm making this. And yes, we made $43,000 in December, and up until that point, we're feeling real fucking good. But it's almost like we took the foot off the pedal, and we've gone backwards since. And it's not something I like to admit, but it's a reality. It's like we've gone backwards significantly. And in journaling and kind of going through all this stuff and reflecting on all of this and like really figuring out what the fuck is happening, I feel like I've kind of came to the thing that all business problems are just personal problems at the end of the day. So if you can fix your personal problems and really figure out what's happening, you're going to really just accelerate your business and fix your business problems. And the personal problems that I was having is I became comfortable and I wasn't doing the daily actions and tasks that got me to the point of hitting a record month. Okay? And the reason I'm going into this now is because you're constantly at battle with your two versions of yourself. And I fell back into the version of myself that wasn't striving for a future self. And I think it's important at times to also give yourself grace because, again, you're new to this. Okay? I'm new to it. Everyone's kind of new to it. So there's no point getting guilty, disappointed, and frustrated with these things because, again, it just sticks you in your current, like, old frequency of self. And that's what I've been feeling the last 2 months. Again, I'm trying my best to articulate how I'm feeling because I hope this may shed some light for people that are feeling something similar, or if when you do get to this point, or whatever you are at your journey, that you kind of can understand that, yeah, may look all nice traveling around and stuff, but like there's always going to be problems and things to deal with. There's always going to be something not going right. You're always not going to feel so right at times, and I think that's perfectly fine. I think it's part of the journey, to be honest. Like, don't get me wrong, I feel so fucking grateful. Like, even the last few days and weeks, kind of just taking the time to reflect and getting back on the daily actions, like waking up 6 a.m., 5:30 a.m. Again, 7:30 now. I've been up since 5:30. Just like getting things done, journaling, sleep, diet, exercise, working on meaningful needle moving tasks within the business, moving away from things that take away your energy, the dopamine draining things that, yes, in the short time give you dopamine, like Instagram and shit like that, but in the end just make you feel like shit. But reverting back to the main point, you can't really expect to transform yourself instantly, because this is just kind of like a trick that your ego plays on you. Because like I said, the current version of yourself with the old version of yourself and the future version of yourself are always at war with each other, and they're kind of like constantly battling each other. So your old frequency actually wants you to fail, because you kind of got to think it's like a part of you. And if you're trying to metaphorically kill a part of yourself, it's obviously not going to want to do that. So it's constantly at war with each other. Um, and I thought I'd just add this in here as well, because it's important to also note that the only reason you ever feel on top and then not so good, or not so good then on top, is because frequencies in your identity, your thoughts surrounding your identity, oscillate. So what I mean by that is you've only fallen because you've risen. And it's very easy for me to sit here and be like, we start off nothing, then we build our way up 10, 20, 30k months, hit over 43k in December, but then January, February, we've gone backwards. But it's like you've only really fallen because you've risen. And I think it's really important to note that we're a microcosm of the universe. And I know that's like a bit of a snobby way of saying that the universe kind of has highs and lows. Therefore, as we are a part of the universe, we also experience highs and lows. And I think that's completely, again, need to give yourself grace for it. I feel like I constantly get caught up in the highs and lows and in the emotions of it. Um, so what's the point of this video? Where am I kind of going from here? So I've kind of gone through, like, I've hit the goals. It's going really well. Still is going well. But there's periods of like not going so well. And I think the importance of this video, again, other than it being a point of reflection for myself, which, I say, I also want it to be a point of inspiration to others. But you're always going to naturally go through highs and lows. And I think that is totally fine. And it's actually just part of the journey. And it's something that while traveling I couldn't fully comprehend. But now being back for a week or so, it's like, no, that's okay. Like you're not always going to be on cloud nine doing business, doing life. But there are things that you can actionably do to continue that momentum, that good momentum. So things that I'm doing now and that I've already taken into action is, again, a structured routine. I'm the type of person that I need a structured routine in order to succeed. So currently waking up 5:30, 6 a.m., going for a run, then coming back, working, deep work, phone off, one black coffee a day in the morning, not 4 or 5 coffees like I was having, just one coffee, and pump out deep work. Then at lunch, read, meditate, eat some food, then back into work, check ins, blah, 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 go to the gym, come back, meetings, work, sleep, read. Okay? Very simple routine. I've got it written out here. Very, very simple. And I realize I need to keep it simple so I actually hold myself accountable to it. So, again, I think the important thing as well in all of this that I haven't even touched on is that routine and having a structured routine is at the end of the day having a plan. And one thing I feel like I did really well last year was I had a plan. I literally painted out the picture. This is where I want to be. These are my goals. But as the year went on, and I guess at the start of this year, it's like last year was fucking amazing. This year's been fucking amazing. Like, do not get me wrong in making this video. It's like things are going really well, like really fucking well. But I also think it's important to be honest and transparent about the process for again, for myself to reflect on so that maybe next time when I'm doing 100, 200K a month and I'm not feeling so good, I can be like, well, Sam, like when you were doing 40, 50K a month, you also weren't feeling so good because it's natural. There's highs and lows. So, um, but I think yeah, like I was saying, one thing I did really well was action plan and have like a real North Star metric. I had a desire, and I feel like that's something I've kind of become comfortable on and left. So again, I've got my routine now. Um, Obviously still hitting my goals. I think the next thing for me is I obviously have my goals for 2025, which I will do a video on. Um, but I think I just need to be more present with them and not get so caught up in the day-to-day things and the emotions and stuff and actually just have that like North Star metric. Like another thing, I used to read this all the time. And I've only just read it for the first time in like a couple months, which again kind of substantiates the point that no wonder I'm not feeling as good as I was because I'm haven't been doing the daily things and the daily actions that get me there. So anyway, appreciate if you've watched this entire 20-minute video.